This is the first video for Chapter 3, Evaluating Opportunities in the Changing Market Environment. Now, the narrowing down process with this should consider the most important elements of the market environment and how they are constantly changing. And when you do this, you have to understand that there are two major requirements to the marketing strategy planning process. The first one is narrowing down to the best opportunities. There are going to be a lot of opportunities available to you as a company. What you need to do is figure out what the opportunities are, evaluate them, and then sort of sift through them and get the best opportunities for your company based upon what you have available and your resources and who you have working and your strengths and all of that. All right, the second part of this is to develop a strategy. Now, when you develop the strategy, you want to make sure that it gives the firm some sort of a competitive advantage, and it also provides the target market, the target customers, with that superior customer value that we had been talking about previously. Now this slide, if you notice in the upper right hand corner, you're going to notice this diagram, this one right up here in the upper right hand corner. This diagram is something that you're going to see all throughout the book. All right, and what we're looking at here is just specific aspects of the external market environment, the company, and the competition that help the firm evaluate these opportunities that are opportunities that are available. From these opportunities, you then, as we mentioned before, have to narrow them down and then select the best opportunity that you would like to pursue as a company. Now, each company has a set of objectives that it wants to accomplish, and the way they accomplish that is by making sure that they have specific resources available to be able to use to accomplish these. If you don't have the resources, it could be very costly, very expensive to be able to pursue something that you currently don't have resources for. So it's just something to think about as you're going through the process. When you're looking at the competition, your company has to include not only its current competitors, but also any potential future competitors as well. You have to keep your eyes open and understand that there are going to be people coming into the market as competitors who are currently not there as well. The external market environment, well, that's made up of the economic environment, the technological environment, the political and the legal environment. That one's combined into one. And then lastly, the cultural and social environment. Those four different components there make up that whole entire external market environment, and that's another consideration. All four of those are considerations that you have to consider and think about when weighing in what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Opportunity evaluation is aided by several screening criteria, or we talked about strategic planning grids. The strategic planning grid, that's something, this General Electric, we'll be talking about that here shortly. The General Electric strategic planning grid, you're going to need to be aware of that. Oftentimes, firms have to plan for multiple products at the exact same time, and these planning grids are very helpful to be able to determine what to pursue and what not to pursue. And then once you have considered all of the things that we just mentioned there and listed above, a firm is then able to hopefully identify the best opportunity or opportunities potentially to pursue. All right, here's the market environment. You have at the top in the yellow the direct marketing environment, and down at the bottom those four categories that I mentioned before in the external market environment. So the direct market environment, the customers, the resources and objectives of the company, and the firm's competition. You have to keep all of those in mind. As I mentioned before, the external market environment, the economic market, the technological environment, the political and legal environment, and the cultural and social environment. All of the decisions that are made have to focus on that bullseye that's in the middle. First, you have to consider the marketing mix and how these two environments affect the marketing mix, and then also eventually determine how they're going to affect your target market. Okay, that's the group that you really have to focus on. And you always have to keep in mind, though, that you have to, as a marketer in the marketing department, you always have to continually look for potential opportunities, and also not just the opportunities, but also potential threats that could be coming your way as well. This chart just simply shows what's called a hierarchy. Right? Overall, they have objectives that the company wants to accomplish. When you break them down, a lot of times they're broken down into different departments. This one just shows the example of the marketing objectives, and then all the different objectives that are listed for marketing. They're showing you the promotion objectives, and then what do they want to accomplish with that one particular one. The bottom line here is that there are going to be a lot of different objectives that go under each category, and all of those tons of objectives are what going to make up the company's objectives. I want you to be aware, though, that there's a term called a mission statement, and the mission statement is what helps set the course for all of these objectives and all of these decisions. It sets out the organization's basic purpose for being in existence. Why are you here? Now, I have to stress one thing. The mission statement should never state to make a profit, ever. Should never state to make a profit. That's understood, but everything should be centered around the customers, the customer satisfaction, customer value as well. Now, depending upon what resources you have available as a company, it may limit what opportunities you could pursue and even look for that are out there available in the market. It's important to make sure you evaluate how realistic each opportunity is in relationship to what capabilities the company has. If the company is not able to produce certain things, you shouldn't even be considering those. Those should be eliminated right away from contention. Key areas that limit potential search opportunities and potential opportunities to go into an area, an industry, or a product line. There are three of them. The first one is your financial strength. Okay, whether or not you have enough capital and whether or not you have enough money to be able to pursue some of these. Producing capability and flexibility. Company has to decide if it has the production capability and capacity, also the manpower, the labor, to be able to craft some particular opportunities. And then the third one is marketing strength. Does a company have the competitive advantage, such as like a familiar brand? You know, Nike, they go into a new market, Nike's name is very familiar, so they have that advantage. Do they have strong channel relations? Do they have creative advertising, a good sales force to be able to go out and push that? So by analyzing what you're good at, what you're successful at, what you're not good at, you can then start to narrow down and consider different opportunities and eliminate different opportunities as well. Now we're talking about the competition at this point. Just like in athletics, the more you know about your competition, the better chance you have at beating the competition, or at least picking apart some of their weaknesses. So keep in mind with this area that you need to know not only the competition, but the market situation, the surroundings, what's going on technologically and economically and politically, socially, all those things as well. Now, the marketers definitely need to understand the differences among the different types of market situations. As you see listed down there, you'll see 4 different ones. Monopolies are something that a lot of you are familiar with. It's when one company, in essence, is able to serve the entire customer base. There's really no competition, and they really thrive on that. They set the prices. They can do whatever they want. That's where the government usually steps in to help protect us from that. Monopolistic competition is when a number of different firms offer marketing mixes. Remember, the marketing mix is your 4 Ps that some customers see as different. It's typical. It's a typical thing that goes along. A lot of different companies offer marketing mixes that some customers see at least as different. Okay, you have options. Oligopoly is a small number of firms. Okay, a small number of firms control the market. This is where barriers to the competitive market are very high. When I think of this one, I think about gas stations. There are a few major firms, major companies that control that industry, and it's very hard for other companies to be able to start up and compete with them. Pure competition is just when there's a large number of firms that compete with similar products. Usually price is the main determining factor, but also quality of the product, reliability of the product is something that is considered as well. Checking your knowledge. This one states, a moderately priced jewelry store is trying to differentiate itself from the other jewelry stores. The store prices products somewhat lower than the super premium jewelry stores, but offers better products and services than the low-end jewelry stores provide. The market situation this store faces sounds most like A, pure competition, B, monopoly, C, oligopoly, D, monopolistic competition, and E, oligopolistic competition. All right, now we didn't talk about oligopolistic competition, so you can eliminate that one right off the bat. But when you're looking at this, you have to understand that there are three different jewelry stores discussed. You have the low end, moderately priced, and the super premium. Okay, so you have those. Each store differs on pricing, quality of the merchandise, and the service. So for me, the best answer would be D, because in the monopolistic competition, you have a number of different firms, at least, and when they say a number of different firms, we're looking at least three different firms, offer marketing mixes that at least some customers see as different. Super premium is one. You have, excuse me, the super premium, the moderately priced, and the lower end. So you have them being viewed as being different. Analyzing competitors to find your advantage. Competitor analysis, that's just a very detailed and organized approach for how you're going to evaluate the strengths and the weaknesses of current customers and potential customers down the road. You gather information on competitors from different internal sources and external sources. Whatever information you can find, as long as it is ethical and legal, then you go about doing that. Gather your information and use that to determine how you can maybe outsmart them and outperform them. Competitive rivals are just the firms that will be your closest competition. Nike, Reebok, Adidas, and those are big. Nike and Under Armour, if you're talking more about the athletic wear and equipment side of things. Pepsi and Coke, ExxonMobil and Sunoco would be one. I mean, there are lots of them. So your competitive rivals are your closest competitors. Competitor matrix. Okay, the bottom left-hand corner. Competitor matrix is an organized table that compares the strengths and weaknesses of a company with those of its competitors. Okay, it compares your strengths and your weaknesses with those of your competitors, especially the rivals, but all competition in general, to see where you have a little bit of an advantage over everybody else. You also want to make sure you search for a sustainable competitive advantage. Okay, sustainable competitive advantage. A marketing mix that customers see as better than the competitor's marketing mix, it's hard to copy that. It's hard to copy that, and you get that competitive advantage as well. So that's a big thing to be able to have and to keep and hold on to. Last slide here is the last checking your knowledge for this particular section. This one states, Chris wants to open a family-oriented restaurant in a thriving suburban area. Chris thinks a sports-based theme and broad menu will be attractive to the large number of families in the area. However, national chain restaurants such as Chili's, TGI Fridays, and Applebee's already draw large followings in the area. The existence of these chain restaurants is a significant A, competitive opportunity, B, monopoly, C, competitive barrier, D, opportunity, and E, competitive environment. Okay, the fact that they already have large followings in the area and people go there and like them and know what they offer means that those are going to be a major barrier for Chris to be able to start his restaurant. So the best answer here would be C. All right, stay tuned for video number 2. See ya.